Can ChatGPT actually operate as a life coach, or is it missing the human touch? Join me as I put an AI-powered coach to the test and see if it can actually help me to achieve my personal development goals. This is the Get Right Project, a real-time life experiment where I track what works to optimize my life at all levels and share the results with you. And we are on a 60-day check-in since I started this project. How's it gone so far? Stick around and I'll deliver the results as of now. So as of now, life is a roller coaster. We have all kinds of uncertainties going on, not only here in my country, the United States, but globally. Everything's unpredictable, and it has been for a while since I started this project. Actually, when I did start this project, it was because the economy was so volatile and business was so scarce. I didn't have any extra revenues, extra resources to hire a life coach or a business coach. I started out by having ChatGPT take me through a business development course and do like a crash course MBA fucking degree. So we did a SWOT test. So the first thing he did was put my business, Girls and Roses, through a SWOT test. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. He took me down the line and I was actually pretty impressed. I learned some things about business that I didn't know. We've had business coaches. They've done really well for us. But I realized I have a lot of things in my life that also need help. So I got to thinking, I wonder if Chad could help me with these things too. I will say, if you're joining right now, I have studied personal development and business development for like over half my life. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty pissed off about the current state of everything. Everything is just so unstable. It's hard to know what moves to make for the business. I know one thing, I'm gonna keep pushing through. I have to keep pushing through. I've worked hard, Stephanie's worked hard as well to build our business. We own a tattoo shop here in Portland, Oregon. It's called Girls and Roses. It's a very special thing that we've built. It's not like any other tattoo shops that exist. But that's a whole different thing. We're not in business development right now. We're trying to get our life right. But like I said, just navigating this economy is like navigating whitewater rapids, you know? It's so volatile, yeah. If you're a small business owner, I'm sure you know, because this is really hard for a lot of small business owners. I've seen a lot of small businesses locally and globally close. I've seen a lot of big businesses close and shut down and start shutting down stores and start shutting down this and that. It's not a fun time to operate a business right now. So that being said, I asked ChatGPT about using the wheel of life to kind of help organize my life, help me prioritize what parts of my life I need to attack first in order to get my business on track, life on track, and just prepare for the future and the uncertainty of it. And just focus everything I have to making sure I succeed. So I was just trying to double down. I was trying to put all my chips on myself. I don't know what's going on out there, so I need to put all my chips on myself, and I need to be in control of my fate. I need to be in control of my future. So that's what we did. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I didn't do something, I was gonna crash out hard. Not just in business, but in life. I was watching the days and weeks pass without much progress at all, watching my energy drain. I was taking naps like almost daily. And I don't know if it was lack of motivation or stress or not eating right, but my motivation was fleeting. Like the boomers say, my get up and gone, got up and went. I wasn't broke, or broken for that matter, but I was exhausted. And it wasn't that I was working too much. I fucking love working. I love working. But when you work so much without a payoff, without a reward, without like being able to buy what you need, buy what you want, without being able to see light at the end of the tunnel, it's hard. It takes a special kind of resilience, you know? And mine was wearing down. And I was even okay with that. I still wanted to keep going. Then I got diagnosed with hypertension. 190/40. I didn't know what that meant when the nurse looked at me. But she looked at me and she said, "Are you okay right now?" Kind of weird. She looked at me kind of weird. She's like, "Are you really stressed?" And I was like, "Not any more than usual. I'm chill." I mean, I thought I was chill, but apparently I wasn't. Apparently I was in bad shape. And I thought I was in good shape. It's funny how hard it is to see yourself from the outside perspective, you know? But that blood pressure monitor sure gave my ass some perspective. It said you are not okay and you need to fix this shit. So I had to make some serious life decisions. Do I want to keep barreling down the highway with my shit falling apart? You know, or do I pull over, get some help, figure this out? Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching says, "Are you patient enough to wait for the mud to settle and your water becomes clear before making the next move?" So that's kind of what I had to do. Like, my life didn't flash before my eyes or nothing like that, but the questions, the stages of grief, and those thoughts did come. I'm too young to die. I have a lot more to accomplish. I had too many dreams to chase. Shit, there's a lot of heart disease in my family. My Uncle Joel died at the age of 42 years old from a heart attack. Man, they found him just lying on his lawn in broad daylight in the middle of the day. I think I was about 16 years old. I didn't really realize. I didn't really understand, I didn't understand a lot of shit when I was 16. And so that high blood pressure thing kind of gave me a lot of more intrusive thoughts. I even tricked myself somehow into thinking I was having a heart attack. Had all the symptoms, had like the pain and shit. I went to the ER. I went to the ER thinking I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die. And it wasn't nothing but anxiety. I just tricked myself. And I never felt so stupid and so relieved at the same time. And then more intrusive thoughts came in. I have too many responsibilities to drop. And also too much fire in my gut to sit around waiting for someone else to come and save me. Because nobody's coming. They're not going to save me from this economy. They're not going to save me from my own health. It has to be me. It gots to be me. No one's going to do it but me. So here we are. And enter Chad, aka ChatGPT. So Chad is what I endearingly refer to him as. But it's ChatGPT. Sometimes Chelsea, depending on the application, she'll pop in, she'll chime in. ChatGPT was the clarity that I couldn't access alone. It was the structure that helped me put my neurodivergent, neurospicy monkey brain in order and give it some structure and prioritize what I need to fix. Because I want to fix everything all the time. So now we're going to do it in order. We're going to prioritize everything. And I remember because I was looking for a productivity format based off of another YouTube video I saw, and they used the Wheel of Life as a model for decision making and productivity. So I asked Chad about the Wheel of Life. He gave me some recommendations. He modified it a little bit. And I thought it would be a great experiment to experiment using AI ChatGPT as my personal development life coach and document everything I see and put it on YouTube and share this on YouTube. And here we are. So we came up with a system and an assessment to get my life right and back on track. So the result of the assessment was that I prioritized my health first, even though there was other areas in my life that I need to work on. There was that I prioritized my health first and get my health right, and then I can start working on the other things in my life. Because without my health, I won't have the energy to take care of everything else. So they say that a healthy man has 1,000 wishes, but a sick man only has one. And I felt that. So yeah, the idea is get my health right, get that back on track. Then I can be more productive. Then I can get my money right. Then I can get back to maintaining a life in homeostasis and begin working on other areas. So with that, we did what's called a 30-day sprint, a 30-day health sprint. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. The first 30 days did not go as planned. Not nearly as planned. My goals were to go from 140 over 90 blood pressure to 120 over 80, to get my weight down from 277 to 272, and to get at least 7 hours of sleep, when at the time I was getting like 4 to 5 hours of sleep per night. And then the other one was to repair my shoulder. I had a shoulder injury. I don't even know where it came from. But I had a shoulder injury, so it was to repair the shoulder. And we use a regimen consisting of, for one, following the Huberman morning routine. And then the second part was eating a healthier, low sodium, low cholesterol, lower fat diet to get my blood pressure and weight down. Exercise at least 3 times. And we're going to take supplements to promote sleep and energy, consisting of magnesium glycinate, myo-inositol, those two are to help with sleep. Creatine monohydrate and fish oil are to help with building muscle and building health, having more resilience and more recovery after workout. And if you want to know more about the actual 30-day sprint, I go into great detail. Me and Chad set that up. You can check out this video right here. And that's where I break it all down, how I started this and what the original 30-day sprint actually was. Right now, this is the check-in. This is giving you the results of how that actually went. And like I said, the first 30 days did not go so great. And if you want the life assessment worksheet and the Wheel of Life worksheet, I have a free handout that you can use. You can like kind of assess your own life and prioritize things for you that you want to get back on track, the things that you want to get right. I'll put that in the description down below. You can go grab it. It's a free copy. Just print it out for yourself and do the worksheet. But back to the lecture at hand. Okay, so I failed the first 30-day sprint. I got close on a couple things. Towards the end, I did end up getting 7 hours of sleep sometimes, 8 hours of sleep, I think once or twice. I took a log of all this shit. I'll share the log. I only lost 4 pounds instead of 5. I wanted to lose 5, and this is 30 days, so that's a healthy amount of weight to lose. I only lost 4 instead of 5, and all those are okay. I was getting better sleep. I did lose some weight, but I fell short of my goals. So there was 2 things. One was the shoulder rehab. I ended up overdoing the shoulder rehab. I have this thing that I like to overdo things, and kind of, I think, well, if a little shoulder rehab is good, then I'm just going to do a lot of shoulder rehab, and I'm going to fix this shit quick, and I'm going to fix it fast. Nope. Nope. I'm not a doctor, y'all, so talk to your doctor first, but I do not recommend overdoing rehab. Take it slow. Let it take as long as it needs to take. Let it heal. Give it time to heal. So, and then there was the big one. My blood pressure was still high. Even with the lifestyle changes, even with the lower sodium, even with the lower fat, even with exercising, it had only dropped to 126 over 86, which they tell me is still dangerous. So, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit scared. I kind of freaked out, kind of crashed out a little bit. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but this isn't working. My blood pressure isn't dropping. I started having those intrusive thoughts again. I'm gonna fucking die. But I didn't quit, okay? I didn't quit. I did not quit. I had to refocus. I had to go back to the drawing board. Went back to ChatGPT. I was like, look, this is what happened. The shoulder thing, the blood pressure thing, we need to take a different approach at this. And so we did some more stuff. He told me you're overdoing it on the shoulder fucking shit. There was another YouTube video I saw talking about fasting. I'll put the link down here too. I don't know the doctor's name, but he talks about fasting and its effect on the vagus nerve and its effect on your whole system and its effect on blood pressure also. And just so a little bit of science, the vagus nerve, how the vagus nerve takes data to your brain and back to your body, heavily influences your blood pressure. They're all tied together. We'll talk more about that on another video. But I'll link to the video down below. You guys can see how that shit works. So I introduced some fasts. I did two 36-hour fasts, which I think probably helped me quite a bit. But it just goes to show, so many times we want to quit when we don't get the results we want. I know you've seen the meme where the guy's like mining for diamonds, right? And there's the path behind him, and he's almost there. You can see the cross section. He can't see it, but just like 3 feet away, all the diamonds and gold are back there. And it's like if he would have just kept digging those 3 feet, that he could have had the diamonds and the gold, you know what I mean? So you have to keep pushing. You have to be persistent. You have to be patient. Patience and persistence doesn't make perfection, but it does make progress. So we have to keep pushing. We have to keep pushing. You might not get it the first time, but your breakthrough is close. I believe your breakthrough is close. My breakthrough is close, so I'm gonna keep digging. And I did keep digging. And guess what? 30 days later, after that first failure, I'm now at 267 pounds. That's 10 pounds in a 60-day period. My blood pressure is consistently under 120/80. And that's results, baby. That's results, and that's why we're doing this. I'm gonna fucking live. Shit, I'm gonna live up in this bitch. Okay? So are you. Your breakthrough's coming too. I am believing for your breakthrough. I'm getting sleep. My energy level is up. Now, I can tattoo more. I run the shop along with Stephanie with more intention, more focus. So did Chad, aka ChatGPT, help me to better my life? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is my life perfect now? Absolutely not. But we're getting there, and we're one step closer. And I can move forward more. I feel like I can move forward now with more confidence, knowing I have a structure, knowing I have a plan, and knowing I have a strategy. And I hope with all the good energy I have in me right now that you can get one step closer too. I am believing in your breakthrough too. I am believing in a better life for you too. And we have a ways to go before I get my life right on all 7 levels, but one step closer. And we're off to a healthy start. And no pun intended, I mean a healthy start, because I know sometimes, well, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't always feel good. Slow growth is good growth. In whatever area of your life, slow growth is healthy growth. Whether it's personal development, whether it's business development, whether it's weight loss, blood pressure, physical healing, slow growth is good growth. Don't despise it, appreciate it, and keep digging. Keep digging, you guys. I'm rooting for your breakthrough like it's my breakthrough. Okay, if you're with me, like and subscribe. Holler at me in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you ever feel so inclined, buy me a coffee and help support what I'm doing here. I appreciate you guys, and keep digging and get your get right. Peace.